Hey, what's up guys? Today we are doing, well, this is really a continuation of the video that I made earlier today, or whenever it was posted, but this is the lore behind Rainbow Friends, and I'm going to just be having this in the background, so yeah. Let's start. So we don't know much about like the characters, like what we are, but we can assume that we are students going on a field trip. And what happens is Red like tries to make us head to their place, I don't know. And then next we're there, blah blah blah, let's head backwards in time. Now let's do the first segment on what the Rainbow Friends really are. And what they are, take all, just for all of this, take all my advice with a grain of salt, okay? No one really knows, this is just a theory. But from what theories are Rainbow Friends used to be humans. And I'll go into each one and probably their backstories for it, but they used to be humans, and then Red turned them into Rainbow Friends. And let's start with Blue. We don't really know much about Blue, but all we can really tell is that whenever he was a human, he was probably really strong and was really strong, and maybe, yeah. But we know some more about Green than Blue. With Green is like was a blind guy, and what some theories say is that he was coming over here with his friends to break in, and then next he got caught by Red. Maybe even the same with Blue. And with Orange, and let's move on to Purple. What most think is, well, what I think is what happened is he was probably invited here by, or as a kid maybe, was here. And he went here, and he got lost. And then Red was trying to find him, so he hid in the vents, and yeah, that's probably what happened now. And then next, let's move on to Orange. Some people say that Orange got an invitation here by Red, saying there's food, and then next he got turned into it. We don't know much about Cyan or Yellow, so just watch professional YouTubers for them. We're doing now. Let's talk about why Red hates Autoworld. Number one, it's just a bigger franchise, and and that's the reason his place got out of business. Yeah, and we'll talk about more of that later in this video. See, look, this is where they were actually made. See how it's human size, not monster size? Yeah, that's why we think it's the real deal for this. Same with the Purple. Now, Oswald D. Davis, founder of this place. He was, I'm pretty sure, a partner with Red, but not evil. And this, yeah, we don't know about him at all. We don't know about him at all. But let's get into let's get into Red. Some people say that whenever the Rainbow Friends were made, they decided to turn on Red and make him a Rainbow Friend. That's probably the most likely thing. Any other Rainbow Friends that I'm forgetting? Trying to think. Nope. Pretty sure I'm not forgetting any. But just in case, tell me in the comments, please. But so, Samantha, get away. Come on. Fine. But one thing that could. Here's one. So. We don't really. Here's one thing that always stood out to me is why. Oh yeah. Why does Green always have his feet like that sound, like almost like a stress ball? Some people say that Red turned. He was holding the stress ball while Red was turning him into Green, the monster. But no one really knows. But that's probably what happened. One other. What is that sound? I swear to goodness. But one thing is, there's some stuff that no one really can know, only if the devs tell them. And yeah. Some things, like, we can look around the map and see stuff like that, kind of hint to what's going on. Because, like, down here. Let's head down. See, look. No feeding blue. Why would that be? No food beyond this point. Maybe because they may get aggressive beyond this point. And see, look, it's almost like he's treating them like animals. Monsters. And have chains all around. Watching your step. Green can't see you. Same with this. It probably broke out, and that's why it got shut down. That's probably why it got shut down, because they got out. I wish I could read this stuff, but it's just too blurry. Oh wait, I had the last two. Yeah. That's one thing. So, here's one thing that could be. What if they weren't actually humans? What if they were animals at first? That could be a theory. That's maybe why he treats them like animals. They could have been animals. No one really knows. Now, let's move into the, more okay. Ooh, okay. Here we go. Two games that, boom. Why won't it work? Okay, oh, it just took it away from me. That's weird. But, so, one game that's connected to Rainbow Friends is the game Spider. And I'll hop into that game later to show you, which I think there's nothing, well, there's one more topic here on the first game that I want to show you, or not show, but tell you, is, so the reason why Red came, always makes excuses and with all that stuff, and oh, but I need you to do this and this and this. I need you to have a goodbye party. Is because the Rainbow Friends are wrong. Well, one theory is because, they're specifically, genetically, altered to, they're basically mascots. And they want people to come. That's one theory thing. Now, let's move on to the second game. How do I do that? I'll just wait. Mine. This is mine. No one else can have it. This is mine. No one else can be here except for me. This is mine. Back away. Okay, so if you don't know, that shadowy figure is Red, the scientist who basically made the Rainbow Friends. There's Purple that I already told you about. One main thing is, okay, I gotta find one of the Rainbow Friends. I'll just beat the game. Actually, never mind. Now let's get a look up on Purple. See, look. Oswald D. Davis. We don't really know, like, I'm pretty sure I know who he is. No one has really talked about him, like, in this photo. But I think I know who he is. And I'll show you whenever I get out. This next segment segment is called Spider. Or I'm calling it Spider. Well, because this is the game that's connected to Rainbow Friends. Now, I haven't played it before, but I know about it. Okay. Let me just give you an overview, okay? So there's this guy, Oswald D. Davis. He worked with Red, and he stopped working with him. And because Red was making dangerous machines, and yada yada. So he left and spent a night here with his grandson, camping. Well, Red sent a spider thingy that was poisonous to come through. But it stunned him, and he looked like he was gone, but he's just, like, passed out and stuff. Now we're moving on to Chapter 2, Oddworld. Not gonna finish the game, but we're just gonna do a quick overview on it. I'll tell you. Somehow, you can add around the fence too. Also, see, climbing over the fence. This is continuing from Chapter 1. Now, this trailer, this earlier part, is key to the storyline of Spider. This is, like, key to it. Just wait. If you like videos like these, please comment or like the video. If you like videos like these, like horror videos, because if people don't like them, I'll probably just not do it again. Because, yeah. But see, look, this guy. This is Oswald D. Davis, I think. See, look, he was the one that got bitten by the spider that was sent by Red. And now he's coming here to confront him. And that's why he's trying to break in, because he knows Red's here. One key part Wait, let me. Maybe saying no, he's saying he didn't believe it, but he actually knows. See, look, he was find the red one. That's what he was trying to say. Now do not enter. Here comes red. How would red know that that we were here? Because he doesn't. He just knew that that guy was here. Now, I'll get the others. Actually, I'm gonna have to beat this game to actually show you more of the lore. Yeah, that's okay. That didn't work out for me. But you know, there's plenty of lore to uncover. So, or even questions that theorists can find out. So, let's get into it. So, why and how long of a gap period was it of us climbing the fence? Because Oddworld looked like a tiny, like no Rainbow Friends stuff here. And then next, like after we leave, it's just like fully like Rainbow Friends thing. Okay, let's get a bird's eye view of this place to show you some questions. 3, 1. Okay, so one key part is how do we get into. We're going to need to head into some place, and I'll show you where it is. The key part of this theory. Definitely not making up words on the spot. Totally. It's in here. So, why is this here? This is almost like a acting studio and like a play area. Not like a playground. I mean like drama, you know, that. But what if they have a show? Because that could explain the cardboard cutouts and stuff. They could have a show. And see, what is this? This is blue paint. They got like messy all over the place, and then just ruckus over here. We don't know. This place is old because there's little trees from outside growing in here. And we don't know much about this area. But this is blue. But now we're in Blue's Castle. This part will be a key part at the end of the game. And yeah. And here's another thing. Should be in here. Yep. So why does it need to change the garage code if no one was here? And look at this. Moved to discussed for moved to what does that say? Okay, so moved to blank, that I don't know that word, for investigation. So fireworks and light show, field trip. That tells us something. One thing. That tells us one thing. They knew that we were coming. They knew that the people were coming on that day. And we can mark the date now. So it was July 1st when that field trip was. We know the timeline of Rainbow Friends. And this is, and that was in the SOS light thing. that's the light show, and the fireworks haven't happened yet. But later in the game, there's a bunch of fireworks, and we have to get the um Jean Oswald down with the fire from blowing up with the fireworks. So we could say that it's June 2nd, which it's only been a day for. And yeah, that's it for this room. But it did uncover a bunch of lore in this room. This room had a bunch of lore. And why does this look like a 5th grader drew this? I don't know. Now the Wookiees, we don't know anything about them. Nothing at all. Not even like what they are, you know. We don't know that much about them. Oh man, it's only me and some other people left. Wow. No. You won't know. I think we won't make it to the end of the game because, well, I'm not that good at this game, but one thing I do, or maybe we may will. See, look, this is the light show that was supposed to happen. But they didn't do it because because it's not that time yet, and he found it. Now, one thing to think about is that there was people here before us because they were planning a bunch of fun thingy rides and stuff. But yeah, one thing is okay, this is one question I have. Why couldn't he have just climbed over the fence again? Why did we need to grab a bulldozer? Now, here's one thing that we know about Yellow. Not that much, but it said Yellow has stage fright. And I think suck loser! One thing that people think, or what happened, was Yellow was a pilot who would, yeah, that one, yeah, it won't, I'm not finishing this game, but he was a pilot that would fly and stuff, but he had stage fright, so he couldn't fly with anybody. So he crashed, and Red found him, and he gave him the helicopter thingy so he could fly. And Cyan, we know nothing about them. Nothing at all. Nothing. We know nothing about Cyan. But one thing at the end, they're gonna move to a different spot at the end of this game, and in the next game it's gonna be in a different place, and I think either it's gonna be on a camp, we're gonna be in the woods on a camping trip or stuff, and then next they're gonna be there, or they're gonna be at the school. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on all this, theories and stuff. Take my advice with a grain of salt. Now, I think this is the end of the video.